This is Jesus Manuel Menagarza. Hope you're doing fantastic. And welcome to RV and Travel Adventures, my little site on the old internet. A rather modest little site. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please leave them below. Abajo. I would greatly appreciate it. I read pretty much 99.9% of all the comments, questions, and suggestions. I do get quite a few suggestions. People suggesting things that are a lot of fun. So in about a week, I'll be heading to Guadalupe River State Park, part of the Texas State Park system, an excellent state park system. I'll be doing some camping there. I'll have water and electric hookups, and of course they have a dump site at the location. Why would I go to Guadalupe River State Park? Number one, it has a nice little river. Again, namesake, Guadalupe River. And you can sit in the water, cool off, on a hot summer day. Nothing better than a nice, cold, clear river to cool you off in the middle of summer. So my wife and I have these little chairs, small chairs. We have large, the chairs also, but we have some small chairs we're going to put in the river, and we're just going to sit there with our little beverage, just zoning out and watching the folks out there cooling off just like us, okay? So it's an opportunity to cool off and get away from the house chores. I have a lot of chores here. I've been working on this fence. I'm about, by this weekend, it should be done finally. So it's a big fence, big backyard fence. So I'm looking forward to going to Guadalupe River State Park. What are the big selling points of, again, Guadalupe River State Park along with the river and cooling off in the river? Well, camping is camping. You get to go inside your RV and hang out, make some meals, converse. My wife's going to do some reading. We're both going to do some cooking. We're going to be enjoying some beverages. Just relax. We have two recliners in our 2205S mini Lite, and we're just going to relax. Take it easy, contemplate our existence, mellow out. So that's number one, of course, mellow out while camping. So making food, sitting in the river, relaxing in the river, maybe do some hikes if it's not too hot. Again, in the state of Texas, globally, around the world, it seems like everybody's heating up right now. So, we're going to try to take care of our health. We're not going to go hiking when it's 105, or we may do a little short hike in the morning when it's about 80s, and that should be fine. Wear a hat, etc., etc. So we're going to try to keep it cool, relatively cool. We're used to going to southern Colorado, northern New Mexico, and camping in elevation. It's nice and it's pleasant up there. It's very pleasant. It's not hot like Texas. If you go to Colorado right now, if you go to New Mexico right now, you're going to see a lot of Texas license plates. Every time we've gone down there, always see it's Texas, 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 Texas. So, but we're going to stay in Texas. We're Texans that are going to stay in Texas, and we're going to have to bear the heat. And we have to be very, very careful. We can't go on long hikes. We can't go on a long hike and go, man, we still have to come back. We better, our head's already starting to spin a little bit. We can't do that. We can't do that. We got to stay cool, stay in the river, stay inside our air-conditioned RV, go on short hikes in the morning, maybe a short hike in the evening, very short hike. We can't do any long hikes because it's the temperature, stupid. It's hot in Texas. Muy, 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 muy caliente. So I recommend for all you folks out there that plan to do some hiking in the middle of the day in Texas, don't do it. I have a park here in front of my property, a lake, a little small pond rather, and they call it a lake, but it's a pond. So people walk around it, but it's mainly at 6 and 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning, and late at night at about 7, 8, 9 p.m., okay? So they go around that lake and do their exercise and walk, take their kids, go for bicycle rides, etc., etc. But in the middle of the day, I can go out, lunchtime, you're not going to see anybody out there. Nobody's that crazy to go out there right now because it's 100, and with the heat index, it's 105. So we look forward to going to Guadalupe State Park. We're going south, so it's actually supposed to get hotter as we go down there. And we have the air conditioning for the RV. the coolness of the river so we can cool off there, and we don't plan to do anything in the middle of the day. The middle of the day, we'll probably just sit in the RV or sit in the river and call it good, okay? We don't want to get heat stroke, heat prostration. As part of our adventures, we plan to go to San Antonio. I like to go to San Antonio. San Antonio is a great town, my favorite town in the state of Texas. My family has a long history for living in San Antonio from the 1700s. They've been in the San Antonio, greater San Antonio, southern Texas area. If you look for a Garza, they're everywhere. Hey, Garza, Garza. Mayor's a Garza, the person who worked in the police department was Garza, the person who committed a felony was a Garza. Everybody's a Garza, the priest is a Garza. Everybody's a Garza in San Antonio and in South Texas. So I have a lot of extended familia, very extended, okay? So we plan to go down there, do some shopping. There's a lot of shopping in San Antonio, the tourist town. And we're going to plan to go to some restaurants, some nice restaurants. I'm not talking about McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, whatever that joint is called. We're planning to go to some nicer restaurants, in the hotel, some of the fancy ones. Maybe we'll go down, a couple days, go down there and hang out, have some meals. And then also, of course, we'll go on the river walk. Hopefully it's not overbearing and hot because it is a shaded river walk. And we'll soon find out if we go, man, this is hella hot. This is muy caliente. We got to get out of this, river walk. Let's just go into the restaurant, have a beverage, have some chow, and then head back to where we're at. Maybe go some mall where it's nice and cool. We also plan maybe to go on a Saturday night. Saturday night. Something you can't do in Fort Worth. Fort Worth isn't, what do you call it? Tejano town. Tex-Mex town. It's more of a, cowboy town. If you go down to San Antonio, it's Tex-Mex, okay? So you got a lot of Tejano dances and Tejano activities. My parents, back in the 50s and 60s, would drag me to Tejano dances in San Jose, California because of the diaspora back in the 40s and 50s. A lot of Texans, Oklahomans migrated to the San Francisco Bay Area for jobs and opportunities, and some to escape the Dust Bowl earlier and stuff like that. So I would have friends that their dads would be from Oklahoma, about 6'4", 250 pounds, and they'd be wearing overalls and they're making lures with lead weights and stuff, and talking about stuff back in Oklahoma. And so, and of course, a lot of Tejanos, and African Americans coming from the South who came to California for opportunities. And of course, it's going backwards now. A lot of Californians are moving to Texas for opportunities, for jobs. Everybody needs a job, and there's a lot of jobs right now in Texas. But there's still a lot of jobs in California, but a lot of people can't afford to live there. My family can afford to live there because they invested a hell of a lot of money back in the 60s and 70s and bought a lot of properties there. And because they did that, they are doing well. They're doing muy bueno. Muy bueno. Brothers and sisters, I'm the youngest. I live here in Texas. I live here in Fort Worth because my wife has a job here. So we'll be moving back eventually to Chico or Arcata, something like that. Or I prefer Redding. So we're going to be heading down there to camp. So I digressed there for a while. I go all over the place. I apologize. I sincerely apologize. Can you forgive me, please? So we're going to go camping in the Guadalupe River State Park. It's going to be a lot of fun. Camping is fun for me. Is it fun for you? It's always fun for me. There's rarely a chance of camping not being fun as long as your rig's in good shape, you're in good shape, and the weather somewhat cooperates. Everything should be, copacetic, hopefully. And again, we're pretty close to San Antonio. Beautiful San Antonio. Fantastic San Antonio. Tejano San Antonio, and we're going to have a lot of fun visiting San Antonio. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. If you have any suggestions for us to do at Guadalupe River State Park, make that comment below. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll read it, I'll check it out, and I'll respond, of course. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share again. Gracias. Muchas gracias. And if you have the time, and only if you have the time and the ability, please check out my Patreon page, patreon.com patreon.com/JMMGarza. Again, that's patreon.com/JMMGarza. From Fort Worth, Texas, soon to be in Guadalupe River State Park near San Antonio, Texas. Beautiful San Antonio, Texas, where I have some friends who live down there. Hope you're doing fantastic where you're at, and you're doing cooler than where I'm at right now. Today is supposed to be 108 degrees, and that's not considering the heat index. Wow! Wow! That's a hella hot. Again, where am I? I'm in sizzling Fort Worth, Texas. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.